Heating up the game just like Penny's knees. The sun moved the Phoenix star like CP3. When I walk by the honeys blushing key. Like Luda this Sierra, they gon' see me. Trust I've been that Nigaro. Colder than Iceman doing that Fingaro. And when I'm done, finish them with that Figaro. How many different ways can I say I'm that nigga though? Y'all claim to be civilized, why I am an animal. Got a problem, go and take it up with your nana, bro. These niggas been pussy, all I see is the camel toe. And everything you hear from me's the truth in these anecdotes.
Enemies, what's up? Welcome. Oh shit. What's up, Brightonic? What's up, Brightonic? What's up, Bo Productions? Is it Bo? Is it Bowie? Is it Boo? Yee! Steven Acosta, what's good, my guy? RK Bot, welcome. Lord Murdermore is in the building. All right, well, let's get cracking. Got some tracks in. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Up first, we got Brightish. He said pick one. We just got a beat called Waka Waka. So, you know, we're going to pick that Waka Waka. We're going to pick that one first. Let's go. XYKO since 92. What's good, man? The Super Pac-Man. baby making music. You should have ended the beat. I was waiting for the do 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 do. That's what you should have ended the beat on. I don't know what made you think to go sample Pac-Man and decide to make that into a beat. It's fire though. Somebody said baby making music, and that's got me in real life tears, man. I didn't even give y'all no love yet, so let me give y'all some love.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful art. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
Everyone's so lovely. Ridge Racer, fam, that is Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, all them noises are from Pac-Man. I know Pac-Man when I hear Pac-Man. He said Super Pac-Man. Yeah, man, but that's Pac-Man noises. I mean, are you aware of that? I know you're a little younger, but all that stuff came from Pac-Man. Oh, okay. So you do know that. Okay, well, let me go ahead and slow my roll then. I mean, I guess I'm sure you had to know that since you used all the Pac-Man sounds. It's fire, you know what I'm saying? Good song. I could see that being in like the new age Pac-Man. You should submit that to who makes Pac-Man? Capcom? So the next time they make a Pac-Man game, you can get that shit placed. Who makes Pac-Man? Look, it already, Atari, Namco. You should submit that to Namco. See if you can't get that placed in some kind of Pac-Man. But solid, man. I mean, I don't got much. I'm not gonna critique 8-bit beat like negatively. The only thing, I mean, maybe turn down the main noise a little bit, because it's like the most glaring sound in the beat, but it's super tight. You know what I'm saying? You did a good job of mixing all the elements together, making the beat interesting. It was a good listen. I enjoyed it. We have some people in here wanting to make babies to it, so obviously you did your thing. Right up next, I got Steven Acosta. Send some tracks over. I only got a few tracks in. I am only going to stream for about an hour because your boy's tired. What's up, Sergio? I freaking made a video that was supposed to be released today, and I was up late working on it. Then I got up at 7 o'clock this morning just to find out that they weren't going to release the plugin until tomorrow. So I was kind of irritated. I should have took a nap, but I stayed up all day messing with some new plugin that doesn't come out until like the 16th, but it's pretty fire. But I got a new freebie for you guys tomorrow. It's somebody's Black Friday gift, so you guys will get a good video tomorrow. It's just one freebie, but it's a solid freebie. What's up, Easy Money? already? Fuck. I feel like I've heard this one, Steven. Hey, hey. Come on, come on. Hey. It's all good. It's a good listen. I think I've heard this one though, Steven. But I mean, my critique's going to be the same. Definitely a solid beat, nice flow, good switch ups. The ear candy is extra fire in this beat. Especially if you're listening on some headphones like these, because these ones are super spacious. So it's like, it doesn't just feel like, how can I put it? Like there's just something panned to the left or right. It feels like it's actually floating around your ear, which is super solid. Love the transition, super smooth. I think I said this one sounded like it should be like an Apple commercial. And I feel like the last time I heard this, like I acted out the Apple commercial for you guys. I was going to do it again, but I opted not to. The mix on this is super clean as well. This part right here is just fire. Super nice transitions too. It transitions well into that drum and bass. This is put together well, man. Super clean mix. Good work as always, my friend. Good work. Let me tell y'all what's grinding my gears today. I hate doing DraftKings with basketball because you be looking like 5 minutes before the game, the whole lineup is healthy, and then in the middle of the game, they be like, he's out. Motherfucker, how you gonna tell me he's out in the second quarter? I wouldn't have played this dude. Look at this lineup. Obviously, somebody's not gonna score some points, but I got Turner, Giannis, and Halliburton. This lineup was gonna kill it today, and now I lost my DraftKings, and I picked two lineups, and he's in both my lineups. So it's like, you fuckers. Killed me. DraftKings be killing me. Up next, I got RK Bot. Let's go. This sample's fire. Oh, Cash App? I got you. This is clean as fuck. That noise though, I don't know about that. Is that string part of the sample or did you put it in? Yo, you should switch that to a different string or a flute. That TikTok, that clock going is fire. Good perk. Samples chopped masterfully. Yo, this shit was fire. Super fire. I didn't give out any of these yet. A few of y'all deserve these. Sorry if you didn't get them, but
I do say it's the shit. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself.
hold up. So I think that beat was nice. I like the little TikTok perk that you had in there. I feel like the arrangement was fire. I feel like the beat was like the sample was chopped to perfection. I like the drums. I like the bass. I'm not saying that I didn't like that string, but I feel like you could find another string that just complements it a little bit more. Because something about the way that string was mixed, it just felt like it wasn't sitting in the beat right. Maybe you could turn it down just a tad, or maybe switch it up and put like a different string or a flute in there. But I mean, it was still fire, dude. Super nice beat, well put together, good arrangement. You know, I definitely rocks with it, dude. Good shit. Up next, I got Easy Money on the track. He sent me a Cash App for the super chat. Appreciate you, Easy Money. To knock. This better knock. Good work, RK. That little vocal chop's fire. Yo, that's pretty fire. The only knock that I really have is that I would like to hear a little bit more low end out of that sub or the 808, because it sounds like how it's distorted. It's just giving me everything on a super high register. So I would like to feel just like a little bit more of the deepness of the bass in the 808. But it's fire, like the melody's fire, because it's like you have, like, it sounds like it's like a war chant in the background going. The perks are fire, like the hi-hats are fire, panning back and forth. I like the 808 pattern a lot. I would just like to hear a little more low end in it. That gating effect is pretty solid. And then that vocal sample is fire too. Definitely super nice selection there. I was not expecting that when I pushed play. I thought it was just gonna be something that knocked. I guess I hear why it was called to knock, because it definitely.
I do say it's the shit. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself.
Hold up. All right, up next we got Clinton Booey, baby, lose my mind. Let's go. So I'm gonna say this just because I'll forget later. when you have this little filter come on, maybe you should think about putting this filter on before the drop, and then have it drop into the beat, because it's like the beat drops. That's kind of the beat. That's where the beat should be dropping in, I feel like. So like that's where the beat should drop. So maybe like right here, right before that, you put that filter on so that when the beat drops, it's actually the beat dropping. Because it just kind of comes in awkwardly. And then another thing, I'm sorry, I'm not just trying to keep stopping you, but I'm gonna listen, but I just wanna make sure as I'm noticing these things, like you don't need to even put these effects in here yet, because if you masterfully do that beginning, then you put that little filter right here, then you do the drop, then the beat can go for a little bit, and then you can start getting your filter and your effects on over here to change up the beat. I know I haven't listened to it all yet, but that's just what I'm, you know, as I'll first listen, what I can hear. See, that's a better one. I feel like some of these notes are all key too. And then on these parts, when you have the filter going, let the filter go a little farther. You can automate the filter for 4 bars instead of just letting it go for like a bar. I'm not sure what the BPM is. So if this is double time, then you can automate the filter for 8 bars instead of 2 bars. It just depends on if it's, you know, I'm not sure if you're under 100 or if it's like 120, 140 or whatever. If it's, you know, 140 or something like that, then automate that filter in and out for 8 bars, and it'll have more of an impact as it's hitting. Same with that. And then maybe as you have this part come in with the with that synth noise, you pull the guitar out for a little bit, because when you have the same melody going for a whole beat, that's what kind of makes the beat sound a little bit repetitive. So I'm not sure if you used a sample or if you did the guitar melody or whatever, but I would probably find like a piano or something else to throw in here so that you can just do switch ups as you're arranging. It'll make arranging a lot easier if you have more melodic pieces, because now it's easier to take that guitar out. You have a piano playing or whatever other instrument, the synth, whatever other noise that you're using, you'll have that playing for a little bit, and then boom, when the listener is going to be anticipating the guitar to come back, when the guitar comes back, boom, it just makes them, you know, makes their head nod a little more. The mix is okay. It could use a little bit of work, more of just like balancing your instruments a little bit better. Maybe a little bit of EQ, because it feels like the 808, and it feels like it's muddy in the mid-range a little bit. And since there's like a lot of like, since the guitar is sitting more in the mid-range frequency, then you have the 808. Yeah, you have that synth, but you don't really have anything that's giving it any like crispness up top. So maybe adding, I'm not sure if you just filtered your guitar. So if you like did a cut at like whatever, at 8, you know, kilohertz or whatever, but maybe you don't need to cut in the guitar. But then again, maybe when somebody raps over that too, it will, you know what I'm saying? It'll change the complexity of that. That's one of those things that when you make a beat, sometimes having somebody's vocal over it will change the way that it sounds. But yeah, bro, I'd find one more melodic piece. What up, C-Ray? I'd find one more melodic piece if I were you. I feel so bad, C-Ray, man. I've been wanting to hop into your streams, but I've been recording all my videos at night lately. So it's like every time you're on stream, I'm like working on my content for the next day. It's like every time. And then like when I'm like in the middle of recording, I get the notification, I look at my phone and I'm like, I gotta fucking record this video. I gotta edit this shit. I'll be in there one day though, man. I'll be in there to holler at you, I promise. I'm not just saying it either. You already know, man. I'll be checking out your streams when I get a chance. It may have been a while, but you know I'll be in them when I get a chance. All right, I got a super chat from RK Bot. Thank you for the super chat, my guy. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But Bowie, keep making the music, my dude. What's good, CJF Music? Them drums is going hard. I think this beat's fire too, my dude.
I do say it's the shit. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself.
Hold up. But I agree with C-Ray. The bass could use a little bit of saturation to bring it out a little bit. I also think that you could probably tame that vocal vox just a little bit. Because I feel like if somebody was to rap on there, that high end is going, on the last beat, as I say, it doesn't have enough high end. With that vocal vox being such a high register, it's going to be hard to mix that beat if you just got the 2-track and you were to rap over it. So I would probably just bring the vocal box down just a tad. You might not need to EQ it. It might just need to come down in volume. But if you notice that it's still kind of sticking out, then maybe it might just need a little bit of an EQ cleanup on it. But other than that, the arrangement was nice. The fucking drums were insane on that shit. I'm not sure if you got a loop or if you padded them out or whatnot, but the drums on that shit were solid. And then all the pieces were solid too. This is something I could hear like a Jay-Z B-side on, you know what I'm saying? Like a B-side song from Jay-Z, or like, you know, something like that. You know, like maybe like a circa 2005 Hove or something like that. Maybe circa 2004 Hove. But solid overall work. Good job. Good job, my dude. All right, up next we got Lord Murderer, aka Mike Rainers. Let's go. I know this is gonna be a key gen. What? This is not what I was expecting. Oh, there we go. I'm not sure if this is key gen or 70s prawn right now, but we're gonna find out. All right, bro. So on this one, I feel like the mix needs a little bit of work. I think C-Ray described a little bit of it well, talking about the mid-range is clipping. It's basically giving that distorted sound. So it's like so much where the bass and the mid-range is reaching that it's making it, you know, sound distorted and giving it that kind of scratchy sound. And if it's gonna be kind of like keygen-ish, then it has to be, well, I mean, I guess I can't tell you what 2023 keygen sounds like, but it needs to be kind of clean. Like when that comes in, that noise is just too loud, mixed in with the bass. That down. And then I would work on the arrangement as far as the drums a little bit, figuring out where you can take the drums out a little bit, because it's like the drums are going for pretty much the whole track, which doesn't make it sound repetitive, but it kind of gets repetitive. I don't know if that makes sense, because you do have different switch ups and everything, so the beat's not repetitive, but just dropping the drums in a few more places can help with the arrangement a lot. And like you could probably turn those chords down just a tad, like turn down all of the melodic pieces just a little bit. Oh, well then, yeah, there you go. I guess if you didn't do any mixing, I would just work on that mix, like just leveling the sounds a little bit better, so that you can know the mix comes across a little bit cleaner. Like those chords could probably be turned down a little bit. And then like some of the sounds could use a little bit of effects too. So like those synth sounds could use a little bit of reverb on them, maybe even a little delay. It'll definitely make them sound, I guess somebody said, more stereo separation. Adding reverb and delay is going to do a lot to help separate that, and it's going to widen out the sound too. So just a few things to do, but you know, as far as like something that you could use in like a video game or like an old school, you know, 70s prawn movie, it definitely fits the shoe. Somebody keeps asking me enemies. Yeah, you gotta wait. You're after Sergio. I go in order unless you super chat. You don't have to super chat because you're after Sergio. But I go in order, brother. You don't have to ask. I'm gonna play it if it's in order. Midi. What's up, Tiz? Butter Scratch. Probably like another half hour, 20 minutes. So on this one, my boy, I'm sorry, I gotta stop it. You got to work on EQ on some of those high frequencies because it's a little harsh as you're listening to it. So, you know, like the synthesizer that's all distorted, yeah, distortion's cool and we love it, but we have to tame it sometimes because it can give you ear fatigue. So if you're like listening, like how can I put this? So like the intro is this part for like a minute, you know, in 10 seconds or so. That little high pitch sound, you got to tame that. I would turn that down a little bit and turn those drums up. But I would also focus on changing up the beat because we have like a minute build up, but then it doesn't go into like a super hard ass drop. You know, just kind of the beat kind of just switches up. Like this is hard. This is hard. Like that part's hard. Like the way that you're making the melody sound, because it's the same rhythm, sounds better here because it's not so glaringly distorted. What's good? The 90s. And so with this, it's just not a lot of change. There's not a lot of, the arrangement needs some work. So you need like another whole section with some different sounds also to make it so that it doesn't sound like it's kind of repetitive because it's the same drum pattern over. And then basically it's the same melody, but it's either on a different instrument or it's just got different effects on there. So getting the arrangement together is fire. The melody is fine itself and the drum pattern is fine itself. It's just about doing things to change up the drums every once in a while and EQing and taming those harsh frequencies so that the listener doesn't get ear fatigue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a good start. I mean, that's fire, you know? I mean, it's good to mess around with different programs and get going. I mean, I'm not knocking you, my dude. I know you're still a young buck, you know what I'm saying? But just little things like just arrangement and EQ can go a far way with the beat, you know? And then pulling the drums forward and pulling the melodies back. All right, up next, I got Enemies, Aggressive. Let's go. You gotta turn those chords up because the chords are down so low and the way they're affected, it's making it sound like the beat was mixed in like a trash can. I'm not knocking you, but that's just how it sounds. Like it's not all mixed in the same place. And I'm not saying that you're trash. I just meant like a tin can or something like that. And you can put some more effects on these bells. It needs another melodic piece. So on this one, kind of similar to the last beat, it's just kind of repetitive because there's not enough going on. What I typically say is a rule of thumb, at least for me, when I make beats, I don't make the most complex beats. So I'm not here to say that I do. I can, if you follow the channel for a while, you know I've made some sick ass beats, but typically I'll just make some basic beat for a demonstration for you guys to hear, something that somebody could rap over and kick over. The rule of thumb that I typically go by when I make a beat is that I have to have chords. And if you're not going to use chords, it's fine if you have a pad or just a sound that's going to take the place of a chord, that's fine. But typically chords, a melody, and a counter melody. You got to have those three pieces when you're making a beat because that makes an arrangement easier. So obviously you can put more into the beat, like, you know, different melodies and so on and so forth, all kinds of stuff, strings, vocal boxes, all that. You can put more. But as a rule of thumb, you need at least chords, a melody, and a counter melody, because that way you can arrange your beat into different sections. If you just have chords and a melody, then that means like the melody's probably going to play the whole entire beat, which is going to make the beat get repetitive. So like those bells play the whole beat, or at least the 2 minutes that I listen to, and that and the drums are the same, and you have the same chords. And so since those same pieces are playing, no matter how much you try to switch it up and no matter what you try to do, if you're just using the same loops over and over again, it's going to make it sound repetitive. But now if you were to add another melody in there and figure out the melody with the chords, the first melody and the counter melody, if you can have all three of those going at the same time as a chorus, now you can start switching and going back and forth between your melodies. And that's what's going to change up the sound to the listener. Just something so simple as adding another melody and then flipping back in between your melodies. So have one melody go for 4 bars with the chords, and then the second melody go for 4 bars with the chords, and then switch it back and forth. You know, first melody, second melody, and then everything together in the chorus. Now you have a full beat, and it makes it to where, you just have some variation in the beat. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes it to where it doesn't sound repetitive. You know, that's like the key things to worry about when you're making a beat is if it sounds repetitive. If the same noise is going the whole time, then it's going to sound repetitive to the listener. And that's, you know, obviously the goal is the one to keep the listener involved, engaged in the whole beat. So, I mean, just follow that rule of thumb. And then once you start making more beats and more beats and more beats, and you're going to just notice, oh, I can add this in there, or I can add that in there, or I can add this, I can do this, I can do that. So, you know. What's up, Bugs Doe? Thanks for the super chat. If you're trying to skip though, I hate to say it, but it's $10 to skip the line. So you would have to donate another $8 if you wanted to skip the line. If not, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. All right, up next I got Rupin Sambasivam. Sorry if I said that wrong. I tried though, man. I tried. Hey man, this is an instrumental meant for TV and film. All right, well, let's check it out. Yeah, turnarounds in the melody are good too. You can also reverse that shit. I think this is straight. It's kind of hard for me to critique movie beats because I don't really make a lot of movie stuff. I mean, because here's the thing with movie stuff. I would like to, Can I say this properly? I like the beat, but when you're making stuff for movies and TV syncs, it's just different than a regular beat. So like, I would like to hear those bells turned up a little bit though. I kind of like that. I like that snare. I did. I mean, I like it. It's kind of hard for me to critique though because that's not really my area of expertise. I feel like the mix sounds like it's straight on that though. Oh, hey, on that last beat though, I meant to say this too. Those pads, whatever you were using for the chords, they need to be brought up or changed because they just sound like they're not in the mix. Like when I was saying they sound like they're mixing a trash can, I didn't mean it was I want to make sure I clarify that. It just sounds like it was recorded in like a room with no treatment, and so it just sounds like it's just sunk in the mix. It just needs to be brought out, so a different sound might be good for that. I feel like the mix on this is good though, Rupin. Because it's going to be for a movie, so it's not going to have any words on it, so everything needs to kind of, all the pieces need to be present for you to feel it. So I feel like the mix on it is pretty good. I wouldn't complain about the mix at all. He said I might be better off mailing it. All right, and then up next, I got another super chat from Bugs Doe Productions. Thank you, Bugs Doe. I appreciate you for that. Which one do you want me to play? Are they both the same? I'll play the one on YouTube so I can give you a like. Why does this remind me of what's my guy's name who be singing It's Rimble? I forget what his name is, but right off the back. Oh, I guess it is Rimble. It's like boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna say some parts about this. I'll let it play a little bit longer. So that down, 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 that needs to come down a little bit, and then all the other melodic pieces need to come up a little bit because it's just too present in the beat. And then there needs to be parts where you let that breathe. So you take that out a little bit, and then like you let it breathe, so it's more impactful when it comes back in. And then there's other parts like, since this is like a super West Coast beat, there would be parts where I would like chop up the drums. So I would do the boom, ba-boom, 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 but I would chop up everything. I would chop up the melody. I would chop up all the drums, all the melodic pieces, and I would chop those, you know what I'm saying, to get the beat a nice little switch up. Because like, listen to those bells in comparison to that synth noise. It's like super quiet where the synth noise is just overpowering it. And you could probably, with those drums, to make them smack a little bit harder, you can bust those drums out to another insert and then add some parallel processing to the drums, and it'll make the drums smack a little bit more. You can also sidechain the drums to the 808 to make them come through a little bit more, like the kicks. Ding! Yeah, triangle would be nice in here. Yeah, I would just work on that because you have some nice elements. It's a nice West Coast beat, but the mix just needs work. So those things that I talked about, like bringing the drums forward, pulling that bass down, maybe pulling up the bells, pulling up that little synth pad thing that you have going on here, right here in this point. It sounds like it's kind of like a flutish pad. Maybe turn that up a little bit. But just balance the mix a little bit more and then work on that arrangement, like pulling that bass out and stuff like that. You got a nice beat. It sounds like it's a rimble beat, like, that's who I can hear rapping on that beat. I don't listen to a lot of Dior, so I don't know what he normally raps to. All right, up next, I got my guy C-Ray Beats, Simple Bop. Let's go. Nice. Them drums, bro. Yo, that shit's hard as fuck, dude. I like the drums obviously smacked. The only critique I would have, C-Ray, you're obviously a vet, so you don't really need my critiques, but I would turn the synths up just a little bit. I do feel like they were sunk into the mix just a little bit. You could bring those up just a little bit, but like that goes to show So earlier when I was talking about how you can use like just a few sounds, you know what I'm saying, to make a beat go, it's all about the arrangement. And the arrangement was nice on this. And then he even put the filter on. When he put the filter on, he did a good job of panning the hi-hats and the instruments from left to right, which was fire, because it was like 2 effects. It switched the beat up, and then once that, you know what I'm saying, that filter effect made you want more of the beat, because it was like pumping you up, and then bam, once the beat came back in, the beat smacked. So very, very solid. You know what I'm saying, nice arrangement with a few tools. The drums were, you know what I'm saying, masterful. The bounce was nice. The 808 solid as well. Good beat, my dude. Bam, what's good, my boy? Welcome. All right, y'all gonna hate me, but this is gonna be the last beat that I play this evening because I'm tired. I'm going to sleep early tonight. I'm gonna go watch a little bit of football, even though it's the Bears and the Panthers, and then I'm going to bed. Let's go.
Sweet.
He said, "You right, we hate you." Sorry.
Still less pain. If I would've grew up to be a doctor, my nephews would've grew up to do the same. But since I grew up through the game and my influence is the same, and my therapy is music, they ask, are you ashamed? And though I wish I can separate the two things, I cannot, so my answer to you remains. I could walk down the hall of mirrors in Versailles and be so satisfied when I look myself in the eyes. No shame, no sir, just big boats and tearing the coast up.
All the night games this week suck.
I'm wearing a roaster for any coupe, been hugging the holster. Oh, alright. And it may not be what you call perfect, but it's my life. Once again, so I make no apologies, crooked policies. So a G a nigga gotta be. We playing for property, no monopoly. So I'll pass go and let my nephews follow me. They say the child shall lead, so I'll take it far as I can, and then we shall see. Shall we dance with the devil for a beat? I pray to God I ain't got 2 left feet. Do the hustle, put keys in the street, then I'm ballroom dancing, keep keying in the suite. Sweet, BBs on the feet, TVs in the seat, enemies on the creep. It's so corrupt, soak it up, it's a lesson every fuck up. One day you're up, next day you're down. Long as you stay the same, it'll come back around. Oh, alright. And it may not be what you call perfect, but it's my life. The life. Once again, it's a life. I'm even better, I'm eating better. Best thing about it is my niggas eating together. With each endeavor, we reaching levels niggas ain't seen in life forever. I'm Hyman Roth, I made all my partners rich. I can't vouch for you if you ain't a part of this. Support me as I parvey my wrists, as I parlay my chips. Oh, alright. American gangster business is like I'm white, but I'm not. I'm just bright, so fly with no fear of flight. So if y'all hear my plight and you think you can make it this far without a fight, couple mistakes here and there, not always right, but I'm always real, that's how I sleep at night. Oh, alright. And it may not be what you call perfect, but it's my life. The life. Once again, it's a life. Sway.
Yeah, the drums on that was fire. The sample was dope. Obviously, Jay-Z on there. It sounded like the beat was made by Just Blaze for Hove. I mean, good work. I mean, you know, CJF, you already know you make killer ass beats. Very, very good work. Bam, you see all of the games, all the out of norm games they gave us this week, the primetime games and the Sunday morning game, they're all trash. We get the Bears and the Panthers tonight. We get a Sunday morning game, but it's New England and freaking the Colts. The Sunday night game is the Jets and the Raiders. And then we get Denver and Buffalo on Monday night. Like, this is the worst week of primetime games I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I guess all the games are trash. I mean, Buffalo, obviously they're a decent team, but they've been playing like crap lately. You know how Denver is. You never know how they're gonna play. So it's like they gave us some last week. It's because last week they gave us all the good games because it was like on Sunday schedule for me of football games was so fire. Because where I'm at, we got the Raiders, or not the Raiders, but we got, you know, obviously everybody got Kansas City, Miami as the early game, and then we got whoever the fuck we got for the afternoon game was fire as hell too. Oh, why can I not remember? Well, I mean, Baltimore beat the brakes off Seattle, but we got the Baltimore-Seattle game, which was a good matchup. And then I got the Cowboys and the Eagles, and then we got freaking Cincinnati and Buffalo. So it was like, the football gods were like, all right, we gave you last week. We're not giving you this week, though. You know what I'm saying? Since we gave you so many damn good games last week, and then college football was fire, too. I watched so much damn football last week. I watched all the games. Yeah, I don't know. They need to be flexing because there's no way that we should have all these crappy-ass games on. You know what I'm saying? But we got some good games Sunday afternoon. We get San Francisco and Jacksonville. We get Cleveland and Buffalo. I mean, you know, everybody's interested in watching Houston now. CJ Stroud, Cincinnati. You know, Detroit, the Chargers isn't a bad game. You know, so we get some decent games. I'm going to watch the Cowboys beat the brakes off the Giants. That's a good game for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hope we beat them 40-0 again. That's going to be a good game for me. The Chargers are 4-4. Y'all doing all right. I mean, y'all can't beat us. I'm not going to talk about you. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing all right. Y'all coming around. Y'all got a lot of injuries. That's y'all's problem. You know, first it was Austin Eckler was injured. And then now you got Mike Williams and Josh Palmer injured. So it's like y'all gotta beat some injuries and y'all be all right. You said, what's my favorite? I can't see that word because the stupid ass heart. What's my favorite Bulls era? The Jordan era. That's when I was a child. You know, like I grew up in the Jordan era. You know, I'm 42, so my favorite era is the Jordan era, followed directly by the D Rose era. Like D Rose Jordan's my favorite basketball player ever. You know. I was born in Illinois, but I grew up in Nebraska. So I was just always a Bulls fan. And then like my family's Cowboys fan. So I was born into being a Cowboys fan. I didn't have no option. You know what I'm saying? It was you're going to be a Cowboys fan. I'm glad I was, though. I got to see a bunch of championships when I was a kid. But man, the Jordan era, there was no era like that era. And then the D Rose era, man, if D Rose could have stayed healthy, I feel like the Bulls would have won a championship because that motherfucker was cold. And he was only like 22, 23 years old when he like, you know, sucks that his career was taken from him, you know, so soon. I wouldn't put Jordan and Kobe neck to neck. If we're talking about all-time greatest, I'd put LeBron above Kobe. Because there's things about Kobe. There's things like if you have that basketball debate about who's the GOAT, there's so much I could say as to why Jordan's the GOAT. You know, like there's only been 4 times in NBA history has somebody led the league in scoring, been all NBA, all defense, and finals MVP, and MVP of the regular season. And all 4 of those times, it was Michael Jordan. He's the only person to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody else in NBA history has ever done that. And so that's pretty sick when you're like 10-time scoring champion and you're all defensive first team 9 times. I mean, that's like, but that's not even why I think that Jordan's better than LeBron. Like LeBron has had fundamental meltdowns in the playoffs. Like Chicago never lost no series because Michael Jordan didn't show up. I mean, the Orlando series, he still played straight when they lost to Orlando, but the nigga retired for a year and a half. So it wasn't like he was in prime basketball shape, you know? And they still didn't lose because of Michael Jordan. The team just didn't play well. They didn't have a big because Horace Grant went to Orlando. So they didn't have a big, and that's what killed them, is that they had nobody to guard Shaq in the post, and Shaq was just eating. So that was a rough series for him. But the Miami Heat, who were astronomical favorite to win the finals after forming a super team, lost because of LeBron James. It was literally LeBron James' fault they lost that series. He scored 11 points and combined 11 points in 6 fourth quarters. That's awful. You can't be the best player ever and you're losing the finals because of you. What's up, Dick McGuffin? Now, the thing is, Kobe choked too. So we can't sit here and act like Kobe never choked, because it's literally Kobe's fault the Lakers lost to Detroit. It's his fault. The nigga shot 38% in the series, shot 17% from the 3-point line. He averaged 22 points per game in that series. Shaq averaged 26. Kobe took 40 more shots than Shaq did in 5 games. 40 more shots. So he took 9 more shots a game, roughly 8 more shots a game than Shaq, and he averaged 4 less points and shot 38%, while Shaq was shooting 63% on the Lakers. And so Kobe also did shit like when the Phoenix Suns, he choked away a fucking 3-1 lead to the Phoenix Suns, to Steve Nash. And then we can't forget about Kobe, like in game 7 versus Phoenix, he literally quit on his team. He fucking quit on his fucking team, you know? Kobe's not the most efficient player. And so that's why I don't put Kobe. Kobe's not even in my top 10. Kobe's probably like 11 for me. I would rank Steph Curry above Kobe, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you know, it's Kobe. Yeah, I mean, I get that. But if I had to pick a team today, I would pick Steph Curry over Kobe. You know, I just would. You know, it is what it is. He said, how the fuck do you remember that shit? Dude, I just be remembering sports information, bro. I should have went into being a sportscaster, because all the shit I'm saying you can look up. It's factual, you know what I'm saying? But I went into the wrong profession. If I should have went into media sportscasting, because I'd have been really good at that. Like, I do a good job at, like, I could see a lot of shit. Like, I can just call a lot of shit. He said, get a life, dog. Damn. I just remember the shit, man. I lived it. You know, I watched the shit and I just remember it, you know? Fuck. Killed me. I used to have a life, man. I'm fucking 42 now. I ain't got no life. My life is music. That's what I do. Yeah, I would, but LeBron, I'd say, is the second best player of all time, though. My top 5 goes Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Bird. This one's going to be a little bit sketchy for some of y'all, but Shaq. Nobody can fucking stop prime Shaq. I don't care. There ain't no center in the history of the NBA that could stop prime Shaq. And he even came out and was like, he was like 400 pounds when he was playing for the Lakers, right? Yo, everybody be like, well, Hakeem, you know what I'm saying, gave him the business in the finals. Dude, Shaq was in his 3rd season. He hadn't even reached his prime yet, and he still was putting up 28 and 12 on Hakeem in the finals. Let's talk about a few years later, like 3 years later, when Hakeem played Shaq in the Lakers, and Shaq ate this dude's lunch, averaged like 35 and 14 or some shit like that. That might not be the accurate number, but he killed that dude. Like, there's no center in NBA history that could guard Shaq when he was playing for the Lakers, because he was too big and he was agile, and he was agile. He could run the court. He had a spin move. He had the baby hook. People just say Shaq just dunked, but Shaq had a smooth baby hook. That shit was solid. I mean, I like Kareem, but my biggest beef with Kareem is this. I think that, I mean, I can't knock somebody for putting Kareem in their top 5. I always look at people funny, though, if they don't put Larry Bird in their top 5, because Larry Bird should be in your top 5. Like, people underrate Larry Bird because he's white. That motherfucker was a stone cold killer. If you go watch Larry Bird's his mixtapes, if you listen to all the players who played with Larry Bird talk about Larry Bird, he talked the most shit. He backed that shit up. He used to tell motherfuckers, be the game winning play, right? He's like, all right, I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to dribble on you one time. I'm going to give you a hezzy. I'm going to dribble one time. I'm going to pump fake, and then I'm going to shoot nothing but net to win the game. And then the motherfucker would do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Larry Bird doesn't get his props because he's white, and I don't like that shit. You know, I feel like that dude is for real top 5 player of all time, one of the greatest, because he used to kill people. Kevin McHale scored 59 points one game and broke the Celtics record for most points in the game. The very next game, Bird was like, nah, not doing that shit, and he scored 60. Yeah, people underrate Bird. But my thing with Kareem is Kareem was dope, and Kareem had a great career because obviously he won at every level, won high school, won 3 straight national championships, only lost 1 game in college, I think maybe his freshman year, or never lost a game in college, and then won 6 championships, won 6 MVPs or 5 MVPs? Maybe 5 MVPs. But the thing about Kareem is that I felt like it was Magic's team. So yeah, he was the cap, but Magic won 3 finals MVPs playing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic won 3 MVPs playing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, you know, as great as Kareem was, I'm not knocking him. I just feel like I would take, if I had to pick of those 2 players on that team, if I had to pick one, I'm picking Magic. Like, Kareem won 1 title without Magic. Now, granted, Magic didn't win any titles without Kareem, but Kareem was in the league already. He played for the Lakers, and he won a title with Oscar Robertson, who is, you know, a top 5, top 6 point guard of all time. So without point guards, he missed the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? With the Lakers, they missed the playoffs with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar before, and they were getting bounced in the first round and shit. So, you know, and they had a team. I mean, they had Norm Nixon. They had, you know, Bob McAdoo. They had a squad, but they just couldn't get over the hump. And then Magic gets there and wins the Finals MVP his rookie year with Kareem injured. Magic suits up, plays center, scores 40, 12, and 7 assists playing center, and he's a point guard. You know? I just, Steve, that's your lineup? You don't got Jordan in your lineup? That's wild. I feel like Steve Nash's career is overrated too. Because Steve Nash didn't play a lick of defense. He was awful in defense. Steve Nash might give you 17 and 11 assists, but whoever he's guards giving you 30 and 9. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Steve Nash, he was a good basketball player. I'm not knocking him. He shouldn't have won those 2 MVPs. Shaq should have won the first MVP, and I feel like LeBron should have won the second one, even though a lot of people think should have been Kobe. LeBron put up I think it was 33, 7 rebounds and 6 assists or 7 assists that season. And, you know, Steve Nash puts up 15 and 11 and he wins MVP, which is wild. But, all right, C-Ray, man, have a good night. Yeah, we can do top 5 real quick. I got a couple minutes for that. But y'all's top 5. But I feel like Steve Nash he was a product of the system that they were playing in Phoenix, because you have Steve Nash. Yes, he could shoot, he could pass, but he had Sean Marion, who was an all-star before he got there. You got Amari Stoudemire, who's borderline Hall of Famer. You had Jason Richardson. He had Leandro Barbosa. He had Boris Diaw. He had Joe Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash had all the players in the world to pass to. So all he had to do was pick and roll or penetrate and kick out, and all his players could shoot, or he had all these offensive weapons. So it's easy to get assists when everybody can score, when everybody's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? When everybody's a bucket, it's easy to score. It's easy to get assists. I feel similar with Stockton, except for Stockton was a dog. He played defense. He didn't miss no games. That motherfucker missed 4 games in 19 years or some shit, some wild statistic. But it's easy to get assists when you run a pick and roll with Karl Malone. Some people try to rate John Stockton over Karl Malone, and that's like the craziest shit in the world because it's harder to score points than get assists, you know. And Karl Malone had a bag. That motherfucker had a jump shot. He had a post game. He had a turnaround. He could put the ball on the floor. He could run the pick and roll, the pip and pop. He was all defensive every year. He could he just did more. And so it's like he was starting before Stockton was starting, and Stockton got drafted the year before him. And then like with Stockton, like things that people don't talk about is like, yeah, there was years where Stockton was averaging like 13 assists and shit, but Stockton had he had Karl Malone, who was averaging 25 to 30. You got Jeff Malone on your team. Jeff Malone was cold. A lot of people don't talk about Jeff Malone, but Jeff Malone was averaging somewhere between 18 to 23 points a game. They had Tyrone Corbin, who could score and get you about, 18 points a game. They had Mark Eaton on the squad. Jeff Hornacek was an all-star before, he got to when he played in Philadelphia. So it's like he's always had players on his team that could score. If you get them the rock, they can shoot, they can score, they can put the ball in the basket. And so like with a lot of people, I would say the difference in looking at Magic versus Stockton is Stockton was running all his stuff out of the pick and roll, where Magic was running the offense. So he's, orchestrating everything. All the plays run through him. He's running pick and plop. He's running half-court offenses. He's penetrating, kicking out. He's doing everything. He's running the offense more like a Chris Paul. Like I would rate Chris Paul higher than I would rate Stockton because Chris Paul has more of a bag. He can score. He can assist. He's a better defender. He just does everything better except for shoot free throws. You said LeBron has better defense than Jordan? Oh, my dude, you're wrong. Jordan was a better Jordan's all defensive first team 9 times, bro. Jordan was a defensive player of the year. Yo, 4 times in NBA history has somebody had 200 assists and 100 blocks, and Jordan did it twice. Hakeem did it the other time, and Scottie Pippen did it once. Like, Jordan was a much better defender than LeBron, especially like consistently, because there became a point when the LeBron was a beast on defense from like 2009 to like 2013. LeBron was a beast when he was playing for the Heat. You have to play defense when you play for the Heat. But Jordan was a solid defender his whole career. Like Jordan averages more steals, averaged more blocks. Like LeBron just passed Jordan in blocks recently, I believe. I could be wrong. But it took him more games, Jordan was more efficient offensively, and he was just a dog. At the end of the game, he's going to hit the shot. In the fourth quarter, he's going to score the points. I mean, you know what you're going to get from him. He's not going to take no days off, so he doesn't need load management. Okay, I want you to think about this too. So they tied in blocks. Now, Jordan's a guard. LeBron's a small forward / power forward. LeBron's supposed to average more blocks than Jordan. Look at them steals. And then I would say that Jordan was probably the better perimeter defender. It just is what it is. Like LeBron's going to take games off. LeBron taking 15 games off. Jordan playing 82 games. LeBron might not show up in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, i.e. the Mavericks, i.e. the Spurs the first time. LeBron averages more defensive rebounds. Jordan averages more offensive rebounds. LeBron just passed Jordan in offensive rebounds like the other day. But it's one of those things where you have to think about the roles on the team. So yes, Russell Westbrook gets more rebounds than a lot of forwards, but it's not the guard's responsibility to get rebounds. The guard, once the ball hits once your players, once like a defensive rebound, once it goes up in the air, what do you watch the players do? You watch the guards run down court. So you watch the 2-guard run down court. You watch the point guard run to whoever's supposed to get the rebound. So the big men are supposed to box out while they get the rebound. They pass the ball up the court to the point guard. And then the shooting guard runs up the court, tries to get in position so they can score buckets. So like some stats when you're looking at it, you have to think about how the game is supposed to be played or how teams play basketball. And yeah, LeBron has more rebounds, but that's because Jordan wasn't boxing out like LeBron. Jordan was running down court trying to score because that's what the offense called for. I know all about Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete's dribbling game was out of control. He's got one of the best handles in league history. Yo, Pistol Pete averaged like 40 points in college. I'm talking about for his whole college career. Pistol Pete averaged like 40 points a game in college. That shit is fucking insane. That shit is insane. Yeah, but here's the thing that we're talking about here, Lit Up. So yeah, you're right. So it was like a season ago or 2 seasons ago that LeBron passed Jordan in blocks. How many more games has LeBron played than Jordan? Oops. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron's a forward who's supposed to get more blocks. So Jordan played 1,072 games. Jordan played 1,072 games. And LeBron has played 1,429 games. So LeBron's played 350 more games than Michael Jordan. So, you know, to think he's only got 100 more blocks and he's played 300 and something more games and he's, 6'8", he's bigger, he's a forward. It's just, it's hard to, it's one of those things it's hard to, I can't give him the pass on that. When you're averaging the same, and then like the most blocks LeBron ever averaged in a season was like 1.1. When you look at Jordan in his peak, Jordan was averaging 1.1.5, 1.6. Dude, Jordan has a season where he averaged 3.2 steals and 1.6 blocks. Fam, do you know how sick that is? How sick it is for somebody to average 35 points a game, right? And then he averaged 3.2 steals and 1.6 freaking blocks. That's insane. And he shot 53% from the field. So the motherfucker was just a fucking stud, And people be like, well, he couldn't win without Scotty. There was nothing but a bunch of cokeheads on his team, Like Scotty's first year when they won playoff series, Scotty averaged like 9 points a game. Yo, people say that LeBron has the most memorable defensive moments when, truth be told, Michael Jordan has a more memorable defensive moment than LeBron will ever have. The Bulls are losing by 4 points. Michael Jordan scores. The Utah Jazz take the ball up this court. Michael Jordan runs, steals the ball from fucking Karl Malone, dribbles down the court, and hits the finals winning shot on fucking Byron Russell. That's more memorable than any LeBron moment ever because Jordan did that shit by himself. Like, I mean, I get, you have a team and shit, but Jordan scores the 2 points. And then in that series, Jordan scores like 6 points in that last minute of that final series. Nobody talks about that. They only talk, that's not true. Basketball heads know. But Jordan scores like 6 points in the last minute of that finals, of game 6 of that finals against Utah. He scores, he hits like 2 free throws, and then they stop Utah. No, Utah scores, and then they go back up. They go up 3. Jordan goes down the court, he scores. Then he runs down the court and steals the ball from Karl Malone and then runs down the court, fucking calls game on Byron Russell. LeBron could never, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, people forget about these moments, but because it's so long ago. But LeBron has never done anything that impressive. That's literally the most impressive sequence in NBA history because this nigga literally won the fucking finals, And then like LeBron, the thing about LeBron, people always say shit like Jordan swayed away from guarding the best perimeter defender, and that's just not true. It was just about matchups. Whoever Jordan used to guard Reggie Miller. You know what I'm saying? Jordan used to guard Latrell Sprewell. Jordan used to guard all these two guards, but sometimes he didn't guard the two guard because they wanted him to guard the point or they wanted him to guard other people, which is fair too, because it's like, you know, just depending on the matchups. Hey, if we need you to get 50 today, you're gonna have to guard whoever, you know. But it wasn't like he swayed away from. He guarded Clyde Drexler the whole fucking final series, you know. So it's not like he ran from people in the finals, you know. He was guarding Hersey Hawkins and he guarded Gary Payton in the finals, you know. So it's not like he was running away from people in the finals. I don't care what nobody says about Dan Marley. Dan Marley was an all-star and an all-defensive player. He guarded him. LeBron don't guard the best player. He ain't guarding the best. He didn't guard Kevin Durant barely ever in any of those series where they played against Golden State. He was guarding fucking Draymond Green, you know? He wasn't guarding Jimmy Butler a whole lot until game 6 in that series, and they play the same position. So it's not like, I wouldn't say that LeBron, I just, you know, defensively, he did guard Derrick Rose, though. He had to, though, because Derrick Rose cooked Dwayne Wade in that first game of the series, but he didn't score that many points. His scoring was down. Dwayne Wade did the scoring, and Bosh did the scoring in that series. So that's like another difference between the two, is Jordan's going to guard whoever, and his scoring isn't going to go down. He's still going to, the motherfucker's still going to give you 35. He's still going to give you 35 and D somebody up. So guess I talked longer than I said I was going to. I'm out, y'all. I appreciate the conversation. Maybe we need to have these more often. Y'all didn't know I knew about sports like that either, did y'all? But I appreciate y'all as always. I got a new video coming out tomorrow. It's already uploaded, ready to roll. You know, I'll holler at y'all.